CNBC TV 18.
Hello and welcome to the CNBC TV 18 special. I'm Shireen Bhan and we're in conversation with Anil Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, many thanks for joining us. Let me start by asking you, sir, and I want to pick up on something that you said a few years ago. You said, I understand the Indian psychology. That's my biggest advantage in India. You must have patience. Everything else will come through. It's almost prophetic now, but is Anil Agarwal running out of patience at this point?
Not at all. Not at all. I think that's the general feeling I have, that the India being a democratic country and the industrialization is taking place, the private players are coming, so you have to have some patience. Most of the business was with the government business. Now it's coming, a lot of private players are coming, so government and the private, they are coming together and making it success.
Okay, so you still have patience?
Yes. Yes, sure.
The oil secretary has gone on record on this channel saying that it's likely that they could come up with some sort of clarity on this matter, perhaps as late as January or February. Is Bill Gamble running out of patience? What is your conversation with him telling you?
Yeah, for them to believe, because it's a pretty simple, because nothing is changing. If you look at the money is not being transferred, the company is completely intact. And I'm just giving you some sort of example. If you look at buying a flat in Bombay City, you go out and the buyer sell to the buyer buy the flat and seller sell the flat, and the transaction take place, and then they go for a formal approval to the committee and to the society, which is the really managing committee,
right? And
they approve it. 99% of the case, they approve. They look at whether it's a vegetarian society or how you will live and will you adhere by the rule. This is I just given you one of this example. So this is the great thing happening for the country, whereby Indian asset coming to the Indian owners, which perspective will be very different, because our perspective will be always growth. I have in fact pledged that most of the profit will come. All the profit will be deployed in the company. We have a perspective that we will put huge growth, like all over the world. Indian professionals are very well accepted. So go to third country, find the oil, do the joint venture, and increase the reserve of oil for India.
Are you disappointed? Because again, I come back to the statement that you just made, that this is an Indian asset that if this deal goes through will go into Indian hands, into Indian ownership. Are you disappointed with the way that this deal is currently being dealt with by the government of India?
I think government of India is very responsible, because the whole world today is watching India, and this is, in overall respect, is a very small thing, and this is been assured by the government. They have never ever defaulted on their contractual agreement, and all the investors want to come to India, want to deploy it in the. So I believe no reason that this thing should not happen. But as the delay is taking place, faster it happen, it is better for our country. So thing can go on, because what we are looking, the management is very anxious to take this at a different level.
Right.
We are looking a lot of joint ventures. So everybody is very anxiously. This
CNBC TV 18.
Hello and welcome to the CNBC TV 18 special. I'm Shireen Bhan and we're in conversation with Anil Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, many thanks for joining us. Let me start by asking you, sir, and I want to pick up on something that you said a few years ago. You said, I understand the Indian psychology. That's my biggest advantage in India. You must have patience. Everything else will come through. It's almost prophetic now, but is Anil...
And doing a lot of joint venture to take the company forward.
What is the deadline in that sense? Because when I spoke with Bill Gamble when he was last in India, he said that the timeout clause was April. That's I understand, that's what's been worked into the contract. Will that then be the end, really? If the government doesn't give you approval till April, then what?
I have never seen in India that all my whatever deal I have done, whatever I have taken company from the government, and whatever I have done,
they come around eventually.
No, because we are proven people. We have no other intention except take the company forward. I have always said our intention and government intentions are not separate. We all have to be at one side of the table and take it forward.
So have you not had a conversation with Murli Deora? Have you not had a conversation with the oil secretary? Aren't you speaking to them about what the problem really is as far as this deal is concerned? Why are they postponing or delaying this?
Whenever I have met, I must tell you, I get very positive feeling. And I never thought, this is the great thing happening. How long you want our country to, deprive with the oil and importing 75% oil? You have to we have to bring in more players. If you look at every sector, whether it's a telecom, whether it's a take airport, whether it take a steel, anything you talk about, the number of players are coming. And the number of players comes, they add value to the country. So this is same thing happening where the...
But if this deal and if the approval were not to come through till April, which is, I believe, the timeout clause as far as the two, Kane and you are concerned, is it the end of the road then for this transaction? Are you willing to give it up?
I really don't know, because I believe in a very good faith, because we are doing everything right. It is in the interest of the country. It is in the interest of the country to take it forward. And we have given all our credential. I fully agree, agreement has to be agreement. And if the agreement has, as you said, I have not gone in detail, but April or May or whatever is the time, it has to have a timeline. Whatever will happen, but I don't believe this thing should not happen, because not a single day, single time I get an indication this is not going to happen. They have all eligible to find out what we are going to do with the asset, how we are going to run the company, eligibilities are there or not, and we are there to answer fully with them, and I'm also working with them cooperatively with whatever they feel, how to strengthen the management.
You're sitting in London. What is the sense that you're getting? Are foreign investors getting worried on account of the delays with the Kane Vedanta transaction? Is this making foreign investors wary about investing in India? Because, while the oil secretary has said that an exit option must be given to foreign investors, the government is now looking at the new NELP round, and here you've got almost 4 months of a delay, perhaps even longer, with no clarity on whether this transaction will close or not. Is this sending out the wrong sort of message to foreign investors?
I fully agree with you. This is wherever I go to New York, London, this is the FDI question coming, people really looking forward to invest in India. They can't believe that we have the shareholder approval of Kane Energy. We are getting shareholder approval of Vedanta next week. The entire financing is in place to complete the transaction. Is not getting through. They're definitely looking how the exit will be time to come in India, because if you look at China, it's such a beautifully think move on. In India, they believe that this is just the beginning, and in the beginning something like this happened. So definitely they are worried. At the same time, they believe that India is a democratic country. What the rule and regulations they will follow by and move forward.
Let me now talk to you about the other controversy that you're currently dealing with, and that really is with your Lanjigarh refinery, where the Ministry of Environment at the centre has said that you violated environmental norms, you did not have appropriate clearances before you went ahead and actually began construction and your expansion there. You have, of course, refuted all of these allegations. You have responded to the government's show cause notice to you. There was another committee that was actually set up. The committee has also said that you flouted the environment norms. Is it the end of the road as far as your Lanjigarh expansion plans are concerned? Are you feeling more confident? Have you spoken with Jairam Ramesh? Do you intend speaking with Jairam Ramesh to present your case?
Let's look at the overall picture. This is the story of aluminum. Aluminum, we are natural position to produce aluminum, which is a green metal, which require for human development on day-to-day basis. China produced 22 million ton of aluminum against what we produce 1.5 million ton. So this was the overall picture. And in seeing that, we have gone and invested 45,000 crore has already been invested in the aluminum sector. And we are producing aluminum. And we are running this plant very well. Now to produce aluminum, we need bauxite. That was the fundamental, to have the bauxite. India has one of the finest and the huge reserve of bauxite. Orissa has the largest bauxite, and the Lanchigad area has the largest bauxite. That's why we set up the plant there.
Yeah.
The intention is that we have already invested money. At the moment, we are buying the bauxite from outside and running the plant, which is not natural.
Yeah.
Which is not natural. We have complied all the rule. Why somebody go to Kalahandi and invest $2 billion? You know, it's the most backward area of India. You know, we have gone there, invested on the presumption that because here is the bauxite, here is a development will take place. The Lanchigad, the Kalahandi is a different face today. So we have done that, and we have no reason to believe the bauxite will be the...
But the tribal community that is currently based there in the Niyamgiri Hills believes that they don't want Vedanta, they don't want your refinery, they don't want you to mine there. And you've had NGO after NGO, you've had the Church of England, you've had Bianca Jagger, you've had the Centre for Science and Environment, you've had, of course, the government-appointed committee saying that you are in violation of environmental norms. The Centre for Science and Environment has gone as far as to say that Vedanta and Anil Agarwal are a history sheeter when it comes to environmental violations.
You must know that I have used this word, not a blade of grass has been moved. What you're talking about violating the norms. Not a blade of glass has been moved on that, and that mine is not even our name. We were supposed to get the clearance with the joint venture or the Orissa government supposed to do, and before that this thing came up. Sometime I believe there are the vested interest.
You believe this is because of vested interests?
I'm just saying because in how long India will stop? We have to produce aluminum, which is required for our day-to-day development, because thousands of industries is to be developed on the basis of aluminum.
At the cost of destroying the environment, at the cost of displacing the tribal community that is based there, because that's the allegation.
The one thing I can tell you, as Anil Agarwal, I will never flout. I am more sensitive about our people, our Adivasi people, than anybody else. I am more sensitive. But the Orissa is only bauxite. We all are working together. We are looking forward to get a bauxite to run our plant.
Is this politics as play? Let me ask you directly. Do you feel that this is politics as play, that you've gotten caught between the politics of the BJP, the BJD and the Congress party? Rahul Gandhi visited the Niyamgiri region, visited Lanchigad and said that I'm your Sipahi in Delhi, I'm the tribal community Sipahi in Delhi. Do you believe that you've gotten caught between politics of the Congress, the BJP and the BJD?
I can tell you Rahul Gandhi was very clear that he is not against development. He was definitely, and we all are with him as far as tribal is concerned. We will make sure that whatever the government policy is and whatever the government wants about the tribal, as far as we are concerned, we are not going to touch anything unless it is been completely settled down. But Orissa has a huge bauxite. What you are talking about, maybe 0.25% of what they have. So as far as the bauxite is concerned, 25 years...
You can shift the location, you're saying, that if indeed you were not to get clearance as far as mining in this region is concerned, you look at other regions.
Because there's only bauxite. There is only, because huge employment will be created. We need aluminum. And the 25 years, 25 years, can you believe, after Nalco, there is no mining which has opened?
Are you going to talk to the Congress? Have you reached out to the Congress party? There seems to be a perception that there is a political witch hunt when it comes to, or there is some sort of trouble when it comes to the Congress and its relationship with Anil Agarwal. Is that a true perception?
I don't have to believe, because if you look at everything has been done. What you are seeing, what has not happened. What you are not seeing, what has happened. We have invested almost $20 billion in India, created a huge employment, paying the huge income tax. You know, there is no reason to believe that government is not with us. Otherwise, they will never do it. But when the question comes of tribal, we are with them. When comes Kane Energy, I'm giving them enough if there is anything which we can do to take the country into second level. So as far as the If you look at our credential, we have worked with the government all the time, and we have got all our clearances for our power plant, for our aluminium plant, for our
Jairam
zinc
Ramesh
plant.
doesn't seem to think so.
He has given 50 clearance to us, except these 2 clearance. I'm just thinking, 40, 50 clearance must have come through him.
So what is the problem with these 2 clearances, you think? Because you continue to believe that you've done everything as far as getting the environmental clearances are concerned, that you have not flouted any norms. Why do you believe that we have reached to this point where you have been asked not to construct further, not to expand further? There is a status quo as far as your plans for Lanjigarh are concerned.
See, we are in democratic country. We are not in China. When something is there, somebody has to address. And we all are addressing jointly. Because there is my agenda is not different than the government. You know, we live in the democratic country, and we have to take our society with us. And we have to fundamentally think that the aluminum, if you look at aluminum, is a very important metal.
Right.
And we have to make sure the couple of million ton of aluminum is added to our country.
Are you serious about, shifting to Gujarat, to get bauxite and so on and so forth? Because that's been speculated about for some time now since this trouble began.
See, people who put in today, what is the scare is the investment. Where is the investment where people go, and people like us, whom the investor trusts like anything, give us billions of dollars. Wherever we'll go, we'll have a red carpet.
If it continues to take time, as far as both the cane transaction as well as your Lanjigarh plans are concerned, will Anil Agarwal look outside of India? Will you be forced then to look outside of India?
See, we are like a river. You keep flowing. Some mountain come, we don't break our head with the mountain. We find a way from the left or right and move on.
You know, you've always been a believer in the global equity markets, whether it's the NYSE or the LSE. You have, of course, got plans as far as Sterlite Energy is concerned. You have filed with SEBI your DRHP. Where do things currently stand as far as Sterlite Energy's IPO plans are concerned?
Yeah, we will go to the market maybe early next year. At the same time, you must be aware, one of the first in private sector, 600 power plant has already started. Another one is starting. So we are very proud about the energy sector. Metal, what we produce, require a lot of energy,
right.
And we are leveraging that and making a commercial power for meeting the demand in India.
So you are going to be tapping the Indian markets by early next year?
Early next year.
You haven't, of course, got SEBI approval so far, so you're awaiting SEBI approval as well. Any timeline that you've been given by when you expect the clearance to come?
We are not in need of immediate cash, so we are comfortable, but early next year we'll go.
What about Konkan mines? Because there's been a lot of talk fact that you are looking at an IPO as far as Konkan mines is concerned.
Yeah, this is very close to my heart. This is the largest copper body in the world, and it has the highest grade of copper in the world. Copper is a very scarce commodity. The government is working with us day and night, want us to come to the market. We are working with them, and we are looking forward to list that company again early next year.
Early next year.
Early next year.
And it will be listed here.
It will be listed. It will be listed in London.
It will be listed in
or
London.
New York. Yes.
Okay, in London or New York. And what is the sort of size of listing that you're looking at?
It'll be a good size. It'll be a good size. It'll be straight. I think fall into the FTSE 100.
FTSE 100.
FTSE 100, I think.
Speaking of working with India, where do things currently stand as far as the residual stake sale issues concerned in Hindustan Zinc and Balco? Arbitration was on. Where do things stand?
Yeah, arbitration proceeding is over. We are expecting a judgment anytime, and whatever be the arbitration, I think we have gone to the government. They all are they are waiting for that. I think the transaction will complete, I believe, maybe first quarter of next year.
So you will be able to get the residual stake by first quarter of next year. That's of course for Balco.
Balco and the Hindustan Zinc, because they will follow the same rule for the Hindustan Zinc too.
Let me ask you about the commodity cycle now and where you actually see prices at this point. What is the cycle looking like to you? What sort of price range are you looking at?
I'm bullish. I always thought that the price is too high. but it's amazing how the demands are growing. We still find the copper is very high, the iron ore, zinc, lead. I look at the copper around 9,000, 8,500, aluminum 2,500, zinc 2,200, 2,300. These are the range I'm looking.
So Anil Agarwal, you're not feeling targeted. You continue to believe in the India story. You continue to believe that the Indian government will come around and see your point of view.
I'm a good bahu of India. So I have to believe that they will treat me well.
Have you given dowry or not? What sort of dowry have you given?
I've given myself complete 100%.
All right, we hope that the government does indeed come around and that you continue to be a good bahu of India. But many thanks for joining us on CNBC TV 18. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
With that, it's time for us to wrap up the CNBC TV 18 special. We'll see you next week. Till then, for all of us here, goodbye and thanks for watching.
CNBC TV 18.